Hey guys, my name is Peter Lance. I'm a tech artist, also the developer of Air Current. Just kind of wanted to show some updates since it's been quite a few months since the last update. Um, I'm guessing they won't seem major, but that's kind of the nature of working on a project by yourself. Is changes come a bit slower, um, but there's quite a few. Um, First thing first thing that you're gonna notice is, hey, there's some new artwork. I don't remember this part of the level looking like this. Don't remember the tower top looking like this. Oh, everything's textured. What? And yeah, it's been doing some artwork. I've kind of got a system down for texturing involving like kind of muting outlines to make things blend in with the environment, like the cracks. Adding a separate gradient to each brick, overlaying kind of blending over a different color for every brick, adding detail that doesn't exist in the characters, kind of separate them from the characters. Yeah, also there's a voice acting system that's been implemented and a lot of UI changes, like aesthetic changes, as well as um, like the lives mode in the game actually works, which is a big deal to me. The game keeps track of score properly and shows the winner. So let me show what that all looks like. Here's one of the UI changes. I've updated the character select screen to be a lot more dynamic. The character's in the pose they're in right now because it's for Liz, and it's supposed to be her holding a sword up in front of her face, but it looks kind of weird when she doesn't have a sword. Just so you know what's going on there, why it might look kind of strangely feminine on a character like Jacob. It's like, wait, he's a guy, why is he standing like that? It's kind of weird. But that's why. Each character is going to have their own set of animations to make it look cool. Kind of shows. I like how like the color is pretty obvious. Like what side you're on is pretty obvious when you're selected. I made the difference between not being selected and selected pretty great, so you can tell who's selected and who isn't at a glance. I've added these little markers above people's heads to indicate who's your friend and who's your enemy. So when you're maybe throwing some frisbees at someone at a distance, you can kind of tell if that's your buddy or not, or if that's someone who's coming after you. So that's important to me, especially on a big level like the Morningstar Towers. If I've shown you that one before, it's a level with like these huge towers and wind going up everywhere. It's pretty important to know who's your friend and who's your enemy from a distance. Ah, for some reason I lost control of my guy. There we go. My controller disconnects. A lot of dialogue's been added to the game for Jacob. He's been voice acted recently. And along with the voice acting, I put in like this little table that I can edit that loads in sounds for different events, like doing a heavy attack. Some animations have been added. The character does different animations for walking when he's targeted on someone. And the UI I think is new since the last update, unless you watched my pitch video that kind of popped up randomly. So you kind of see how much stamina do you have with a cool little orb, Diablo style orb. Also how many discs you have left. It's displayed in your lives. So that's pretty nice. New effect for getting hit has been added. It's subtle, but It's supposed to look like a shattering of like a force field because the characters, like air current lore, the characters are wearing force fields around them, like maybe some kind of device stuffed in their pocket that keeps them from getting seriously hurt by swords and exploding frisbees. So I had to do something to explain away why this game was violent but not violent. um, oh, some animations for wall running. I also did some testing for wall climbing. Um, it's not as much fun as I thought it would be. I think we can like wall jump everywhere and glide in the game, and then all of a sudden you're at this really slow pace of climbing. It just doesn't feel right. So, I'm going to show you some of the UI features related to the lives game mode. So I'm going to switch testing off on the game so that I can actually like go into modes. Alright, now we have like twins here. I think the game just remembers that was my last selection of characters when I was playing seriously. Alright, so I'm going to go to teams mode. And nothing new quite yet. And here we go. Here's my loading screen that's new. Kind of like Skyrim style, like show little bits of lore between levels with something to look at, which would be the logos of the different countries involved in the game. Each character is from a different country, so I thought it's kind of important to somehow indicate that. I think it takes a bit of time to load when you're playing in the editor. It's coming. Yeah, so I'm probably also going to put some tips for the game in this area. So if I put a move in the game that's kind of hidden and not covered in the tutorial, I'm just going to kind of explain it here. Kind of like in Breath of the Wild, they tell you all kinds of like cool things you can do in the game that you wouldn't know without just looking at the loading screen. So go ahead and select a different team for one of the characters. Alright, and something I want to show off is when you're doing like a lives death match type, like a stock type match, the game now keeps track of how many kills you get. So Gale here should have 1 kill at the end of the match. And she should have 3 deaths. So I'm going to go ahead and kill myself 3 times. To kind of prove that. So, speed suicide. There we go. So we're going to play a little animation here when the game's finished to kind of show the character who won. And the results screen now accurately show who wins in the game, who didn't win, as well as different statistics. So I can have like how many discs someone threw, how many shots they landed, just anything I want to put down, I can put down now. And it's done through this statistics system where I just tell this like central object in the game, hey, give player 1 a death here, or give player 2 like 1 plus 1 kill, and then the game just reports it at the end. Something that might not seem like it's a big deal is the fact that the characters have portraits in the results screen. They correspond with both the color and the state in which they ended the game. So there's a lose and a win state for every character, and if you take into account that there's 4 characters, 4 skins, with 2 states, that amounts to 32 pictures total. So that's actually quite a big job to put together. For general UI, I'm going to be using these new buttons I created that are animated, kind of make the game feel a little cooler. Or you're just doing something simple like navigating menus. So yeah. I think another thing I want to show off is the conversation system in the game. Each character can talk to each other, much like what you might have seen in Overwatch. Characters will often have conversations in that game that kind of tells you what their relationships are. Like, you'll find out that Anna and Reinhardt actually were in love at one point. It's kind of interesting. I didn't really know that, so I just kept listening to the characters. So a similar thing going on here. So if I select Jacob and Gale, and then press this little handy dandy test button I have, you'll hear just my voice being silly. Oh, hello there. What's your name? My name's Elmo. Aw, how are you doing today, Elmo? I'm doing great. So, yeah. I was pretty proud of that. There's some technical problems I had to work through, like getting each character's mouth to move at the right times and change emotions. I ultimately just ended up going with the solution of putting the whole conversation in one voice file, and then creating a color curve for each character that basically goes from 0 to 1 depending on if they're talking, and also has all these other color channels determining facial expressions. So and that system can be used for normal voice lines. If a character has a pause in the middle of a voice line, I can actually shut off his mouth in the middle and change his emotions. So that actually took quite a while to throw together, and it's not something, it's one of those few things I'd tell somebody not to tackle if they're new to Unreal, but I'd been coding for a while and was confident enough to throw it together after some trial and after much banging my head. Yeah, so anyway, I think that'll make the game come alive. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to be trying to post more updates now. I need to continue posting updates for a class I'm in, so there's some accountability there. So I think even if I don't feel like it, you're going to get updates anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.